So, I apologize for the loud background noise. Unfortunately, it's hot as fuck over here, right? However, the reason or the video I'm going to make today is fear mongering part 2, right? For those who remember, a little over a month ago, I made a video titled Fear Mongering. It was one of my worst performing HSR videos in a long time, and the main premise around this video was me addressing the fact that too many people were fear mongering about the global passives, about what could be, and not what actually might and probably will happen. For example, a lot of big CCs, I do blame for this, kinda ran off with a random leaker on Twitter saying that Phanon, like Ceridra, Cyrene, March 7th, like all these characters would get global passives, and they'd give stuff like attack percent, plus base speed, plus crit rate, plus crit damage, right? And a lot of big CCs, you know, I don't want to call anyone out, but if you know, ran away with this because, you know, it's easy to shit on Honkai Star Rail when your fan base is already known for shitting on Honkai Star Rail and playing on a different gacha game, right? And so now that we actually have the beta for Phanon, Saber, and Archer out, which by the way, they also said, this fake leaker, that Saber would have a passive. None of these three characters have a passive, and literally no character currently is leaked to have a passive. The next one with the most likely chance is Cyrene, but not even that is confirmed either, right? So this whole global passive shit, this whole drama that went down a while ago, trying to get, you know, the whole pokey thing that went down, don't pull Casterus, right? Stick to your morals. Don't pull Casterus if you're truly fighting for what's right, just for it to be all for fucking nothing. Legit nothing. A shit global passive that Casters has that makes no difference for 99% of the player base who has 2 eyes and hands, and we don't have any new characters with a even leaked global passive. Phanon and the fake collab characters don't have one, right? So my video aged like fine fucking wine, right? And as always, I feel like most of my takes age well with time, with the only bad ones being, I believe, Boot Hill? I think Boot Hill and Rappa are kind of like the only 2 takes I've ever had that didn't age well with time. I really shit on them when they were coming out. But, you know, aside from that, when it comes to like the game state itself and, you know, talking about, you know, future possibilities, what's actually wrong with the game, I think for the most part, I kind of get it on the nail, right? And so seeing the fact that the global passive is basically useless, incredibly rare seemingly, and we might not even get one until possibly maybe the next Annie unit, if it's not Cyrene, honestly, hey, I'm just happy that this isn't a real problem. However, the reason I wanted to make a video isn't just to toot my own horn, but also to warn people about taking big CCs or even just CCs who, you know, are agenda posting or spreading misinformation in general for an agenda. Like, don't take them seriously, right? As I said in my crash out video, learn to think for yourself. Try to think a little more deeply before actually letting your opinions or thoughts out. Because just look at how this whole global passive drama ended. All this dooming for HSR from communities on other gacha games saying, oh, on top of the power creep, they now also have these power creep global passives that are going to give speed, attack, crit rate, and you're going to have to pull every single one or else your account is bricked, and now it's just a non-fucking issue, right? Maybe my words will be wrong. Maybe mid-beta they'll add a global passive to these characters, or they'll confirm that like Ceridra has one or something. However, until then, with the current information and 1 month later, the global passive issue isn't an issue at all, right? Now, just like I said in my original mongering video, I don't think it should even exist in the first place. I don't know why they even added this if it was going to be fucking useless, because all it did was just make the public, you know, go AWOL, and the content creators farm the fuck out of this game without having any idea what's actually going on in it. However, you know, Hoyo is Hoyo at the end of the day, right? Maybe for like the complete noob casuals who really just can't clear shit at all, maybe that's why they made this global passive, to like fool a few of them into, you know, pulling casters even if they didn't want to. But hey, right? Hoyo wins, right? The company wins at the end of the day. See, big CCs making drama farming on these games at the end of the day is going to bring an even bigger audience to it and make the company more money. And if it's a good thing, people are still going to come to the game and it's going to make more money. Either way, publicity, bad or good, is always beneficial to these gacha games. Love y'all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. And I'd like to give a little piece of advice. Once again, try to think bigger and try to think better and more logically, right? I completely understand. This is Hoyo. A lot of people got PTSD with this game, including me. I got a negative win rate on the Lycone and character banners. The power creep, it 100% sucks. It's the worst in any gacha game I've ever played. However, just because this game has, to be honest, quite a few issues, does not mean that everything it does and will do will be an absolutely massive game-changing issue that will completely cuck the majority of the player base from clearing endgame. Love y'all. Peace out.